Hey Crochet Squad, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going back to basics with the classic granny square. Simple, repetitive, and perfect for beginners. So grab your yarn and let's dive in and get inspired together. There's something timeless about a granny square. Simple, familiar, and full of charm. They remind us of handmade gifts, soft yarn baskets, and stories told in every stitch. And if you would like to develop your own story, let's start with that stitch together. Now, we're not going to get started with these green yarn. We're going to get started with this yarn, Red Heart Granny Square. So this yarn, I just picked it up from Michael's, and this was released earlier this year, January 2025. This yarn is designed specifically for granny squares, and what is a better way to use it for a tutorial? So I just want to let the beginners know that you don't have to buy this. You can use any other yarn to make granny squares. I just thought that it was rather appropriate to buy this granny square yarn for this tutorial. So to start our granny square, let's start with the chain. So let's make our slip knot like so. And then of course I am going to use my 5 millimeter hook, crochet hook. Okay, then of course we're going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so chain of 6. Now what you're gonna do is that you are going to slip stitch at the very first one that you have, this slip knot. So you take this loop here, and of course wrap around your yarn around your fingers, insert your hook, then yarn over, pull through that loop and pull through that one. Okay, so now you have a ring. So what we're gonna do is that we are going to make our first square from that circle, or from that ring. So first things first, you would need to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Then we just need to make the other part of the square, of the granny square. So it consists of double crochet. So yarn over, pull through the ring, and yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the second 2. Okay, then it's gonna pull more yarn. Okay, so yarn over again, insert your hook in the ring, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through the first 2, and then yarn over, pull through. Okay, so that is your first square. So what you're gonna do next from here, you are going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And by the way, if your working yarn starts to get tight, feel free to pull more yarn, loosen it up, so that then it'll be easier for you to crochet, to do your work. So now you have your chain 3, and then we're gonna make the next square. this time with the 3 double crochet in the ring. Okay, so there is going to be my first double crochet. That's my second. And that's my third. Okay, so that's my third. So if you can tell already, it's starting to become like some sort of a corner of a square. So it is getting there, slowly but surely. So now we are going to do another chain of 3 so that it becomes our second corner. So chain 1 and 2 and 3. Great. And then, of course, we are going to do another set of 3 double crochets. Okay, all right, and then chain 3, 1 more time. Just gonna take off some fuzz on the table here. Okay, and then we are going to do one last set of double crochet. All right, so now you just have to chain 3 and then connect that to where my thumb is, right here. So chain 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Okay. So we're going to do a slip stitch here, not a single crochet. And you have your square. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to chain 3 to start our next row. 1, 2, and 3. Now, slight correction from before, from the last clip. So off camera, I decided to add a chain of 6. I'll let you know why in a little bit. And then, of course, I just made the square, the little granny square that we have, just a bit bigger for this tutorial so that you can see it better. So for this next row, what we're going to do is that we are going to make our corners. We will do 2 squares here, 2 squares here, 2 squares here, and then one last pair of squares over here. It will help us with our granny square later on when it starts to take shape. Now, also, before I do continue, I love how the yarn is turning purple, just like my crochet hook. Okay, so we have chain 6, and if you haven't done so, do that right now. I'll give you a second. Okay, so now from here, you would need to do a square which consists of 3 double crochets. So yarn over, insert your hook into that corner space, yarn over, pull through. And also, if you noticed your chain over here has rotated, that's okay, don't panic, it will be fixed. Then of course, yarn over, pull through the first 2, and then yarn over, pull through the second 2. It also helps as well if you hang on to that double crochet that you're working on, so that it would rotate back up. So let's do that again. So we need to have our second double crochet, and then we need our third. Okay, so first square, and then we're gonna chain 3, and then we're gonna create another square. Two and 3. Perfect. Okay. And then we're gonna chain 3 again, and we'll do another pair of squares on this corner here. Okay, so off camera, I just did I just redid this corner here because it looks like I only chained 2 or so. So I chained 3 at this corner, and then I created my square, and then chained 3. So now, next corner, we do a another pair of squares. Okay, so that is 1. That is 2. And that is 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Then our second square in this corner. Okay, I'm gonna grab more yarn. All right, and another square in our other corner. Okay, so the pattern is that after you finish a corner, you make a chain 3, and then 2 squares, chain again, and then you make your two squares. Now, I will make just 1 square here, and then I'll show you what to do for that other square. So I'll meet you over here once you do your corners. Try it yourself. All right, so I am actually at the last corner for this row, and I just finished the first square. For the second square, you just need to double crochet just 2 times. Why? Because if you go back to the very beginning, you made a chain of 6. half of that looks like the same height as the double crochet, and the other half is your chain that separates the square. So what we're gonna do is that did I chain? Okay, so I am going to chain 3. So we are gonna chain 1, 2, and 3. And then we are gonna make 2 double crochets in that corner. So that's 1 double crochet. And then we'll do another. Okay, and now if you look at it, so that's the square that I just finished. And well, it looks like a square, just like every other square on that row, which is great. So now what we're gonna do is that we are going to slip stitch this square here, or kind of like a half a square, to the third chain on that stitch, or third stitch from that chain from before. So we're going to insert our hook here and slip stitch. Okay, perfect. So now from here, you're going to need to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then, of course, for every chain, do a square. Then every square from the previous row, make a chain. Then, of course, your corner, and then chain, and then you have a square, and then so forth. So I'm going to do the first bit with you, and then this would be the same when your square starts increasing. So chain here, and then we're going to make a square. Okay, so that's the first one. Unravel more yarn. Okay. Okay, second. And also, if you want to have a look at it, you already have that chain 3 from the very beginning, so you can just chain 2 here, so that you already have a square from that chain at the beginning, and then you move on to the chain 3 and then to the corner. So 1, 2, and 3, and then our corner. So, like I said at the very beginning, that the granny square is very simple, it's versatile, and you can make anything with the granny square. So, in the past, I have made a hat, a scarf, a blanket, and I think that's all that I could remember so far. Now, these are actually really great for making clothing. I heard some people made sweaters or cardigans with these. I've seen them all over Pinterest, and they're actually very pretty. I haven't made a sweater just yet, but I am looking forward to making one, so that I have something that I could call that I made it on my own. Okay, one more double crochet for that square. Okay, great. So now we have this chain here. and we're just gonna fill it in with a square, and then we do our corner. So that's gonna be our pattern. So it will be square, square, then chain, and then square, chain, square for our corner. And then of course you chain, then square here, chain, our corner, square, chain, square, and then of course we will go back right here. So I'll meet you at the end of this corner here. Okay, so I just finished the last corner here. So all we have to do now is that we just need to chain 3, and then we just have to connect it to this square here. So we're gonna chain 1, 2, and 3, and then connect it to the top stitch here from your chain from before. And then we slip stitch. Okay, so I'm going to leave this square here. I'm gonna keep it like this. So when you do start increasing your granny square, so what's gonna happen is that you're gonna have a series of chains and squares. So just remember, whenever you have a chain like this, you do a square. And then when you do have a square from the previous row, make a chain. And then over here at your corner, you would need to do 2 pairs of squares with a chain 3 in between. Okay? Now also, when you are ending the row, if you are starting at a, or if you end at the start of a square, then you would need to chain 6. If you are ending in, or if you are ending at an end of a square, then you just have to chain 3. Okay? Now, what we're gonna do is that we're gonna show you, or I'm gonna show you how to do this granny square from a magic ring. Now, if you started with the magic ring, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna turn it into a square. Now, a little technical issue here. You notice that the loops are a little heightened up, is because due to a technical issue, I had to frog what I had to do, or unravel what was done already, so that I had to start again. So now over here at the very top of the magic ring, I have a chain of 2. So here's our plan. So what we're gonna do is that we're going to do a double crochet here, and then we're gonna do 2 double crochets in 1 stitch, or actually a total of 4 double crochets. So it will be 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then another pair of double crochets. It will create our corner. So let's do that right now. So from here, you make your double crochet, okay, and then on this stitch right here, we're going to do our corner. So let's start with 2 double crochet, and I'll unravel more yarn. Okay, so this is going to be our first one, and this is going to be our second. Okay, now we are going to chain 2. 1, 2. And then we're gonna do another pair of double crochet. It's one, and then there's our second. Okay, first corner. So now we are gonna do a double crochet here and then half double crochet in the next 3 and then one more double crochet at the end. So that's our first double crochet, and then we'll do our three half double crochet. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and so 1, 2, 3, and then our regular double crochet. And now we're gonna do another corner. So we're gonna insert our hook, and here's our first double crochet, and here's our second, and then we are going to chain 2, and then our other pair. Okay, and then same thing as before, double crochet, half double crochet in the next 3, and then our double crochet here at the end, corner, and then we continue until we reach right here. So I'll do that one more time. So we double crochet first, and then we half double crochet, okay, okay, let me redo this one, it's a bit tight. Two and 3. Okay. Then our double crochet at the end. And then we do our corner. Now, I want to ask you guys, Crochet Squad, I want to know which one is better. Do you prefer the basic granny square, the one with the squares? Or do you prefer this one, which is the granny square with the magic ring? Let me know in the comments. Okay, and then we are moving on to the last pair for this corner. One and 2. Okay, so we just created our new corner. So I'm going to continue all the way around, same pattern as before. So it would be double crochet here, in the next stitch, and then half double crochet in the next 3, 1 more double crochet, and then we do our corner. And then I will meet you once I made that corner right here. Okay, so I just finished the last corner here. So all I'm gonna do right now is that I'm going to do a double crochet and then half double crochet in the 3, and then I'm just going to connect the working row to the top of my stitch from the top of that chain from before here at the top stitch. Okay, so yarn over. Okay, there we go, our double crochet. And half double crochet in our second double crochet, and then our third. Okay. Perfect. Okay, and now we're gonna connect this to this stitch up here. So I'm just gonna insert my hook, pull through, and pull through the loop. There. Perfect. So now you have a square. So for this part, we're gonna do a single crochet all around the corner. I'm gonna show that to you next. Okay, so for this row here, we're just gonna do a single crochet. So we're gonna chain 2 to start, and then in your next stitch you will do a single crochet. So as a reminder, for a single crochet, you insert your hook into that stitch, yarn over, pull through so that you have 2 loops, then yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. Okay, so that is 1. And then you do that again. Hang on a second, I'm doing double crochet here. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through that. Now, you will be reaching these corners here. For this row, you would need to do 2 single crochets in the corner areas. So insert your hook in that space, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through the 2. And then once more, insert your hook into that space, yarn over, and then yarn over again, pull through the 2. Okay? And then single crochet across. Okay, next stitch. Now, why are we doing a single crochet for this row, just only single crochet? It's just that we just want to make our squares to be nice and have that edge, so that it's not as disorganized. I don't know if that's the right word, But just to make it look good, when you decide to make them or make several of these, try to put them together for a blanket or a strap or whatever it may be. So basically we are doing some edging. So into that corner again. So insert your hook into that space, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through the 2. Okay, so we're gonna keep on doing that. So single crochet across, and at the corner do 2 single crochet, then single crochet across, at the corner do 2, and then across, and then do 2. Actually, this is your this is your beginning piece, but sure, you can single crochet over here, and then just don't forget to do a chain 2 if you wish to continue and make this a bigger square. So I'll meet you at this corner right here, which is the yellow greenish corner, and I'll see you right there. Okay, so I just finished that one corner here. So all I have to do is that I just have to single crochet across to this dark green stitch and then slip stitch at the end. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Okay. One more stitch. And there we go. Done. Okay. And then now we can just insert our hook over here. And do a slip stitch, and we are done. Okay, so if you enjoyed this tutorial, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more peaceful tutorials. Until next time, keep crafting quietly.